What I like about what you're doing, you are really, let's say, coaching financial people
Yes, mainly.
to get in touch with their spirit.
Yes.
I think it would be interesting to coach spiritual people to get in touch with the finances.
That's a hard job. I prefer the easy one, the business people.
Yeah, because a lot of spiritual people are looking to our channel. Most subscribers are spiritual people.
Okay.
A lot of, not all spiritual people, but some spiritual people, they say, okay, money's dirty, I don't want to have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
It's also your experience.
Yeah.
Can you give them some tips of how they can learn to work with finances and money?
Well, I believe if you are spiritual, that it's so important to we are here on earth to realize the spirit really in the materialism on earth. Why are we here? We need to put it down here. And if you are spiritual, it's time to really start to trust on it, to trust. Because you can read the laws of spirituality, you can read 1,000 books. But if we start to deal with money, with businesses, if we start to act in the world from our own profession, whatever we want to do, whatever we feel we need to do, it's so important to integrate that knowledge now in practice. So I would say stand up and put it in practice.
Because I know a lot of people, they had a job in the corporate world.
And they go out.
And they stop doing it and they say, okay, now I'm going to follow my heart.
Yeah.
But then they follow their heart and they don't attract any money. And it's quite a struggle in the beginning.
Yeah.
So what would you say to those people?
Well, first of all, you need to really discover, is it really your heart or is it your authentic being? If your authenticity tells you go out of the business, then it's still ego. Because what is a business? Is also, a business can be love. So I would ask divinity. Where do you want me to be? And discover that. And I believe some people have to go out of that world, but many has to stay and really just stand up. But then you need courage, you need trust to show yourself to the world who you really are.
So if you really work from your true spirit, can you say that then we are always supported?
I believe so. I really believe so. We always will hear the answers. And we will also hear whether we need to go in business or in politics or maybe we need to retire. It's possible.
Yes.
But don't do it yourself, ask spirit, and be not afraid anymore for materialism. Be not afraid for money. Love money, love businesses, love the bankers. I see a lot of negative thinking, especially also in the spiritual world. How many people talk about bankers, about they are the bad guys, or they destroy, or I hear about Illuminati, I hear about stories of conspiracy theories. You know, whether it's true or not, if you are really, really spiritual, you start to love all of that. It's only information inside yourself. Yes. You start to work with those people and show yourself who you are. That's why the subtitle is Show Your Light. Let your light shine in the business world. Yes. We need spiritual people to stand up.
So your message is really spiritual people stand up.
Stand up in love.
Stand up in love.
Yeah.
And you also want them to be courageous enough to follow their spirit.
Yes.
And you're really saying if you really follow your spirit and stand up with your spirit, then you can trust the universe and you will be supported with money. Or do you have other tips for them to attract money?
Know. Maybe they will get money, maybe they won't get money. But the happiness is not in having money. Yesterday I talked to a multi-millionaire. He has so much money. He said, Ivo, I'm not happy. I hardly dare to touch the money. I'm afraid to lose it. I feel guilty that if I touch the money. I know people who have no money and they struggle too. They are afraid. I know so many people with or without money. I really learned that it has nothing to do with the money. The happiness is inside. Really, it's inside our heart. And that's the real spiritual journey. We need to find that happiness inside ourselves. And then we are happy whether we have money or no money.
Yes, but it's really interesting, I believe, that we find the balance between...
Yes.
Because ultimately, money is also the spirit, really.
Yes, we can let the spirit work through the money. Yeah. But often, if I exaggerate a little bit, in the spiritual world we don't want too much. A big home is not a bit dirty. Yes. And in the financial world, the bigger the home, the better. Yeah. I asked my heart, do you want me to live in this home? And the answer was yes. To be honest, I was very happy in my little home in Amsterdam. But I really hear a voice, I need to do this. whether I like it or not. Maybe my personality wanted to stay in another home, small. I don't need a big home. But who am I? I don't know what divinity wants to do with me. So now I live in a big home. Maybe tomorrow I live in a small home again. It's not about if you have much money or less money, you're spiritual or not spiritual. The spiritual is how are you dealing with it? And are you attached to the money? Are you and is it something, are you following your heart?
Yes.
Or is it, I want the money or I don't want the money?
Yes.
Because if you don't want the money, and I see that in a spiritual way, often, people who don't want, they are attached. In not having money. It's like the monk who have this bowl, and he didn't have money.
Yes.
He had hardly clothes. He just had the bowl. But he was so attached. That was his last attachment.
Yes.
And we should let go all attachments, whether we are millionaire or poor.
Yes. Well, I'm asking you this because we interviewed John de Martini.
Yes.
He's a great teacher. And he said, I don't care if you're spiritual or not spiritual. I believe everyone is spiritual.
Yes,
really.
I saw. Me too.
But money, he says, if you don't have any money, if you don't have money, it's just not high on your priority list. Do you agree with that?
Well, I find difficult. In general, you need money, of course, for a good life and to support your family, etc., etc. But the amount of money you have, I don't see a relationship between the amount of money and spirituality.
Yes.
I know very spiritual people who have lots of money. I know very spiritual people who have no money. I don't see so much whether you have a lot or a less, whether that's a sign of spirituality. We are all spiritual. For me, it's much more, are you asking divinity, are you asking your heart, what do you want me to do in this life?
Okay, so that's the first question.
Yeah, that is my first question.
But oftentimes the voice of our soul has big ambitions for us.
Yes.
And we need money in order to realize those ambitions.
Yes. And then often it will come.
Yes.
And if we have this information inside ourselves, money is bad, especially in the spiritual world, you see it a lot, then we see all these poor people. They could be rich, but because they don't like the money. But why not use the money to bring light in the world? If I have tomorrow 20 million, it's no problem. I will probably the same day it's gone again. But I know enough projects to support you with your movie, for instance. So we can do with money whatever we want. It's like a match. We can put a forest into fire, or we can light a beautiful candle. It's not the money, it's us, what we want to do with the money.
Thank you. Ivo, if people want to know more of you, where can they find you on the internet?
They could go to my website, www.spiritinfinance.com.
Is there something you could leave us with?
Love your problems and realize who you are. Realize that you are infinite love. You are not Mr. Johnson or Mr. Valkenburg. You have all the potential. You have all inside yourself what you need to live to the maximum in this life. You have it all inside yourself. Don't look outside, look inside yourself.
Ivo, thank you very much for the interview, and I hope to see you again soon.
Thank you for your beautiful work.